yanga molimo na miteki likambo na sali te bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongoka kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga natula te ope nazanga te nazali na mobali oyo akokanga na makambo maso nalingaka oyebisa baninga na yo bana lelo kosukisa na kombo nanga ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya katie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa kobotalelanga bana yanga molimo na miteki likambo na sali te bakopanzanga sango Kinshasa mobimba bakotongonga kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga nazali na mobali oyo akokanga na makambo maso nalingaka naye lelo na lopango na bino mpo nayebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo bana lelo bosukisa na kombo nanga mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki ekotala yo mosala na ekotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa mobali yango kowapi ye natala na miso na ye na tembe o mama na ye
nateme na ye nateme na lopango na bino na ye bobeta ngai na ye tosukisa yo ekwekese ya mobali ngai na bino tokowela sapato etengama simise pasuka na mokongo
na ye na ye na ye na ye na ye na ye nateme o
na ye nateme
na ye na ye na ye
mwana
na ye na ye na ye nateme o.
All right. Okay, folks. Thank you. Thank you. Samson told LeBron Public Radio, I want to welcome all of you again this evening. Thank you. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful show. If you're not engineering ready for it, you can excuse yourself very quickly because we're going to go engineering here this evening. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you will enjoy the show. Please stay with us. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. Safety, safety. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening for bringing us back here again. We want to thank you for your mercy. The mercy you had over us is just tremendous. We want to thank you, my Lord. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, my Lord, for helping us, for protecting us. The virus is still around. The vaccine is coming around, but many people have not yet been vaccinated, my Lord. Please protect them, protect all of us. We want to thank you. We want to thank you for your love. We want to thank you for your mercy. We want to thank you for your mercies of healing, my Lord. Oh, Jesus, you're so powerful. You're so wonderful. I mean, what else can we do without you? But Lord Jesus, you know, we the Liberian diaspora, we have two tables. One table here in the diaspora to feed, and with another table back home with our brothers, sisters, daughters, fathers, mothers, everybody over there. And we have to feed. That's what we do. We have an extended family. And we want to thank you for continue to bless us, for us to do what we have to do for our brothers and sisters back home. Lord Jesus, we ask you to bless the country, Liberia. Bless the leaders of Liberia. Give them wisdom to do what is right for our people. And Lord Jesus, we want to thank you, and please bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Let's go, folks. Let's go. It's going to be a hectic one here tonight. If you can share this video, please do so. It's going to be very interesting, though. It's going to be very interesting. Few things I will talk about. The politics in Liberia, if you follow it, you're going to get lost. But first of all, what's today's date? April 12th. April 12th. This date in Liberian history, as far as I'm concerned, is both sides tragic on one side and reverence on the other side, joyful on the other side. What do? We have these two mixed salt and pepper. We got to put it together and try to make good use of it. You don't see people cook real good pepper soup, good salt, good pepper, and it tastes wonderful. That's who we are, Liberians. We're a mix of brothers and sisters. We have to work together. If we don't do that, if we don't forget about the last whatever years that has gone, and try to work together as brothers and sisters, we will continue to suffer. There are many brothers and sisters in the diaspora. As long as you're connected with Liberia, spiritually, you might not be suffering monetary suffering, you might be suffering food, everything is there. But guess what? If you're truly connected to Liberia and you have family members back home, the food you eat, our people say you can't stay in your stomach that long. You eat, you still feel hungry because while your brothers and sisters back home feeling it. And that's who we are. You can't stay here and say, I'm enjoying myself. If that was so, many Liberians would have been millionaires by now. Because many of these brothers and sisters in the diaspora, they make good money. They're not suffering. But they send money home every week. They send money home every week to help their brothers and sisters. And so if you're connected, it doesn't matter who you are, Concord, country, whatever, it doesn't exist anymore. We're all Liberians. And we must come together to work. To work. If I was on the other side of my brothers and sisters from the American Liberian group, I would do what I can to assimilate fully now, because majority wins, one man, one vote. That's what we, the progressive, been fighting for the whole time. People die for one man, one vote. And we're achieving that, one man, one vote. You can't say because I'm party leader, therefore all the entire country citizens in this country must vote for me. It ain't happening anymore. One man, one vote. Majority. We're trying. It's messy. For us, it's messy. We come here on the kind of platform, cuss each other up. It's very messy. But we're getting there. We're getting there. And so for me tonight, as someone who witnessed April 12th and was affected greatly April 12th, I want to appreciate God. And I say for those brothers and sisters that sacrifice themselves for us to have this one man, one vote, may your soul rest in peace. And for our brothers and sisters who are on the other side, that felt that perhaps if they were to turn it over and allow the one man, one vote, they perhaps might not get what they're looking for. And because of that, we have a huge revolution. And people and brothers and sisters from that side die tragically. And also, their soul must rest in peace. We are all Liberian. That is Lord, the guy over there talking about dual citizenship, it ain't for me. Again, like, bro, I went to Town, you were driving me from Town, you able to say, you're not from Town, you able. Well, law in like, bro, tell me, say, you can't go to Town. Well, law. So the point here is, unless I'm no longer connected, but I'm still connected, fully connected. There's not a day that go by without me thinking about Liberia or without me calling Liberia. And I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Many of you that are watching me right now, that listen to me, that will be listening to me later on, many of you, not a day go by that you don't think about Liberia or you don't utter the word Liberia every day. But there's a serious, serious issue. Those of us that are in the diaspora, having kids, how do we continue to have our kids to be connected, fully connected, if not half connected to our brothers and sisters back home? For me, that can only happen if we have some resembling of true democracy, where our sons, our daughters, our children will be happy to go out there and work. I'll give you an example. There's a gentleman here, he and his wife, they got kids here, they're both from Liberia. But one of their daughter decided, she was born here, but she decided she was going to go teach as Peace Corps volunteer in Liberia. A Liberian parent, their daughter going back to be a Peace Corps volunteer teacher in Liberia. That's a blessing. She has already been connected. That connection can never be taken away. The fact that she can come back now and have conversation with mom and dad and point out that, oh, I went Waterside. Oh, our on Benson Street, the street that mom and dad used to be on. And she can relate to that. That connection is there. But these things cannot be fully implemented from our standpoint without truly, truly embracing everyone, no matter who you are. We're Liberians. Politics aside, we're Liberians. If we continue to push people aside, sooner or later, they're going to resist. It's just the law. You push the wall pushing you back. And I know anything, I'm not both person, but I think somebody said one time, you push something will push by. The only one that I know for sure, in my own total language, you look at a tree, it fall down, it got a hole in it. A people say hello. Then the animal in there, you bend down, you're looking at animal, the animal too is looking you. That's not for nothing. So we have to be able to work together as brothers and sisters. And here's the interesting thing. There were brothers and sisters that came before us. They're no longer on stage. There are people like us. We are gradually getting kicked off the stage. And you're coming on this stage. And you don't think you're going to get kicked off the stage? This is not your stage. It's a transitional period. We all go through it. Do your best once you're on the stage. Shine for your brothers and sisters. Shine for the goodness of mankind. Remember, you're not God. And so by reflecting back on it, the 1980 coup, while many of us were jubilating in the street of Monrovia, there were our brothers and sisters that were hiding under the beds. There were brothers and sisters that didn't know where to turn. There were brothers and sisters that lived in the neighborhood, which the people, they live in the same neighborhood, but they didn't allow certain people to come around them. They were fighting to go to the slum to hide themselves. C'est something to say. These are not good experiences to have. You have brothers and sisters, brilliant sons and daughters of Liberia that fled the 1980 coup, came to the United States. They never attempt to go back. They don't want to be part of it. However, you can't take the Liberia out of them. They still got relatives over there. They still support the relatives back home. So just to show you that we're all in a boat together. You rock it, we all go down. You saw what happened to the Civil War. When Liberians decided to call the bluff of the democracy, they tested it. It wasn't happy. It wasn't good for all of us. And we all suffer. We must not repeat these kinds of mistakes. And therefore, my take this evening on the April 12th, once again to all our brothers and sisters, doesn't matter what side you're on. The mere fact that you were not able to survive the April 12th and the aftermath, we say may your soul rest in peace and God continue to bless your family. Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. Let's go on. Okay, so I'm going to do this for you tonight. What's my water? I forgot my water. But anyway. See, you see. I just a snippet. This lady some lady, young person here, start talking about there are many young Liberians. They want to go. Their parents are here, and they're educated. They want to help. They want to go back home and contribute. But you have to make sure the soil is conducive for that. We're not in 1960 anymore for you to say, let your daughter go and start going. They must be welcome. First of all, they are. But the place must be conducive for the spirit of teaching spirit to exist. So anyhow, let's go on. Let's start the show. Samson told Liberian Public Radio. Folks, as usual, the president of the Republic of Liberia. Folks, Dr. Weah, president of the Republic of Liberia, duly elected. One man, one vote. Ah, yes. Thank you, Brother To. One man, one vote. They didn't go around say, oh, all the crew people are crewmen who are from Sano Country, everybody, all Grand Crew, everybody all vote. No, there were some people in Grand Crew that didn't want this man to be president. One man, one vote. You have a choice. But yes, he's our president. I was on the side. You can't elect this man. No way. One man, one vote. Even as much as big mouth that I thought I had. One man, one vote. If I were to be in Liberia, I would cast my ballots only one time. I can't go around the bush and come back and say, I don't do. Then they cash again. I go back and let people used to do it, taught me then. Go back and come back. And say, at this stage, it ain't happening anymore. One man, one vote. April 12, 1980. One man, one vote. We're not going back. We're not going backward. So this is our president, Dr. Weah, president of the Republic of Liberia. And we really, really do appreciate his leadership. One other thing I want to point out here quickly. While we don't agree with the policy of CDC-led government on many of the policy, however, we must be truthful and be respectful to each other. That's what we are, and that's what we must continue to exhibit, these kinds of ideas and attitude towards each other. Other than that, we're going nowhere. So while I criticize, I do so with respect. While I criticize, I do so with responsibilities. Because every one of you that are watching me right now, any of you can be president tomorrow in the Republic of Liberia. And then you don't respect the president, and then when you become president, then you want people to respect you. It don't work like that. Respect go yama way. It come to me, it go to you, it come to me. That respect. You don't respect the little boy. You don't respect your own son. You don't respect it. Then you want to, I beg you, I don't want to touch that one the evening. Let's talk show. Okay? So this is our president of the Republic of Liberia. Now, folks, before I do something else, let me just show you a little bit here of culture, okay? Culture of the Republic of Liberia, culture, anyway. So quite recently, the president, Dr. Weah, and his entourage decided to do county tour. The first leg, taking all the way past Town. He passed Town. Yeah, of course, he passed Town. And we were the people in Town. They come from, you get in Grand County, they say, what country is they? They said, Town County. I better stop before they kick me out of Grand Association. So anyway, Total. Then he went, but when he got in his village, this is where the true feelings of being, and then sometimes I feel bad for some brothers and sisters that were born in Monrovia and never really experienced the interior life where you go and set trap. Where you go and set trap in one of the canopy, tall tree. You go up there and set trap, bird trap. Where you go fishing. And not one of these, or you don't draw it, you put it in there, and boom, you throw it behind you. That kind of fishing. Where you go throw iron. You go like that, choo, you throw it, go in a hole, you win. Contrary way. In a village, when you go hunting, you and your pa, way up in the countryside, then you hear the monkey at night. Ooh, 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 ooh. Big time. Some people were born in Monrovia have no experience, none whatsoever. So some of them, we have some in our own family. They will come to Toll Town for vacation, but then they start speaking English because they don't understand the crown language, and they speak English. So when we go through and we want to talk about them, we speak the dialect. He said, well, I said, well, we're pressing you. We say you go. Then we go behind, chat, 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 chat. We start laughing. And why you laughing? Oh, we say you go. Yeah, that means who say, but you want to speak crown? That's your business. But anyhow, so the president quite recently had a tour. So when he got in his village, one of the videos that I saw, courtesy of course, Kalasco, who's continuing to provide some wonderful, wonderful video for us, and I will use some of them here again tonight. So the president decided, at that time, the pandemic was on. When he got in, total, he got in Massimo when he got to the village. The first thing he did to do this what I'm going to be showing you. Look at the way he dressed. Does it look like somebody who is president? No. Dr. Weah said, today, I judge upon Weah in my village. The president, when I come to Monrovia, I'll be president. But for now, I judge upon Weah. I want to enjoy myself. And so he decided to put himself back into the courteous spirit. And from that perspective, folks, ladies and gentlemen, let us don't waste any more time. Let's listen to Dr. Weah. This, what he's about to do, it's not like your CDC battle cry you can do in Montreal. You keep it there. This kinds of cry is unity, unifying people. How do you bring people together to do common thing for the community? For the example, somebody was brushing on the farm, got hurt, can't make it. The community come together, finish that farm. This is the kinds of spirit that Dr. Weah is getting ready to show us. Battle cry, Sao. CDC, Sao. You keep your Sao on that side. We on the southeastern side, we're here to unify each other. You keep your Sao and your battle cry in Montreal. When we come back to Montreal, one rock campaign, we'll call you. But for now, we're here to bring people together. Let's watch this. Samson told Labron Pub Radio. There you saw it. He didn't bring out any kind of sour battle cry, CDC battle cry. Forget that. There you saw it. And then he just to unify people. That's how you unify people, folks. Now let's go my show tonight. It's a very serious one. It's a very serious one. Quite recently, I've been quiet on the engineering side of things because I thought to myself, while I know I'm one of the best engineers, if I may say so, because people still pay me to do work, they're still begging me to work Saturday, Sunday, still begging, even though they pay me, but they're still begging me to do those things. So I think I'm still good. I'm still good. Roadway design, engineer. I'm still good. I'm doing my best. I'm ready to retire yet. Why would I retire now anyway? Why would I retire right now? The stimulus, they infrastructure program, Joe Biden getting put up, that I'm going to leave behind, I'm going to retire, I will get some of that money. You think I'm stupid? They're getting ready to release, what, 2-point-something trillion, almost 3 trillion on road project, and some of them will not come my way, please. Please. And in fact, here's the interesting thing. I have put myself, in a very serious note now, folks, I have put myself in a position Where these things, when it comes here in California, I will be at the forefront of the road design business. That's one reason why I decided I don't want to go transfer myself to paving, transfer myself to survey. I know all those things I don't have to do. I want to do roadway more. So I am quite ready. But anyway, so quite recently, I decided to stay away from engineering business with respect to Liberia. But there's too many things that are going on. So quite recently, as I stated, there was a publication on Front Page Africa last week or so about East International building a road, the Rawafi Highway that we all talked about so much. And the young man said, Mr. Toe, what do you know about this? So I went and I read the article, and then I thought to myself, I'm going to have to do a show. But tonight's show is not the holy grail of me dealing with these people from an engineering perspective. I will have to do some serious engineering conversation here with these brothers and sisters, because this is just not going well. Okay? So tonight's show is about the road construction, RIA road construction, folks. And things are not going well. Just look at some of the little video that I'm going to be, little clip. And thanks to Colasco that we were able to obtain some of these things. But this particular picture come from thanks to Front Page Africa, of course. Okay. So they decided East International. These are the same group that got kicked out of Bon County, Manga to be specific. They were there building what they call Manga Broad Street. And even those that are not engineers that live in Manga recognize that these people were just, you know what, they were not building nothing. So they kicked them out. However, they were able to get this contract, $110 million contract. And the construction process started now, according to them. But let me just remind you a little bit of what this whole thing, when it first started, they decided they were going to show us the schematic of the way they think this road would be. So I, Samson, to jump on it here some time ago and started bragging about it. I was so happy that they were able to think about something like that. And I didn't do much critique on the engineering critique anyway, because I knew that was just a schematic. So in scheme of things, the way you do things, they're not actually the way it's supposed to be built. But the fact that the enthusiastic review that came out of it was so positive, including my own. And I thought they were going to find people who are much more sophisticated in terms of construction, engineering review, and what have you. Up to now, you cannot point to any engineer, Liberian engineer or otherwise, that they said they have seen the blueprint for this road. You're not going to point out anybody. We've been behind these people to send us a blueprint for, not so much of trying to criticize, but at least to see what it is. Because how are you going to construct? And I will show you some of the thing here. In construction, this is very sad. This is very sad. In construction, to do roadway construction, as I know it, there are a few basic you can't leave behind. Because to do roadway construction, it based on primarily road construction or road layout or road itself. It based on elevation. On elevation. Number one. The second thing is the material that's going to be used must be specified. The raw material that's going to be used must be specified. And the specification comes about based on trial and error by professionals. They put in their backyard, and I'm just saying backyard, but they have a company, testing company. They put asphalt down, half a mile, and they test that asphalt. How does it react to different weight of cars or trucks or whatever? And then they measure the reaction. Based on those reactions, they tell you what material to use, how to use it, so that you will be able to improve the life of your people. So that you don't go every month or every year or every 2 years to repair the road. So they give all of this information. And what is so interesting nowadays, all these things that I'm saying right now, all you have to do, get yourself a computer and internet, and you're fine. You go Google anything you want to Google about road construction, and they're there. You don't have to be an engineer. But that will open your eyes. Now, if you're an engineer, that will give you an insight of what other people are doing. But for some reason, our brothers and sisters back home, they refuse to share this IRA blueprint. I don't know what it looks like. But from what I'm looking at, as an engineer, from what I'm looking at, the road construction process they have, I can already say, if they continue like this, it's not going to go well. I can guarantee you, if they don't change the way they're doing business, if they want to cut corners, then we're going to go from good IRA road, which is not safe. Safety is different from the structure integrity. What you have now, the structure integrity is holding. It's not safe because there are so many standards that has not been met on that road. Your sight distance on that road is bad. You don't even have sight distance, so to speak. Okay? Your drainage system on IRA road is bad. And that's why when it rains, you got flooding all over the street. It shouldn't be if you drain it properly. So I understand all that, but the structure integrity is there. Okay? You don't have many, those of you that drive on that road most of the time, you don't have many potholes that you have to deal with. Because when they build those things, whoever built them recently, they decided to do some serious structure work on that, which is good. But now they're changing. Okay? So let me remind you a little bit of some of the things. When they first started here, they had this schematic that was going around, and I got hold of that. And we were playing it here night in, night out, praising the government, hoping that they will understand. But for them to go and select a construction company, the first thing, have no equipment, have no office. There's no office in Monterey at the time when East International won the bid. There was no address. We checked everything out, and there was nothing. All we know about East International, it used to be a building supplier. And then they decided to go into road construction. A Chinese building supplier. So I'm not too sure how do you transition from building supplier to that of road construction contractor. It's a very big difference. Okay? So let me remind you, let me just show you, this video, I know many of you have seen it, many of you have seen it before. And I'm sure you watched it before. But when it came out some few months back, we were all elated. We were happy. We were overjoyed. Because I thought to myself, even if it's not the way they're presenting it, at least we're going to have 4 lane. This is a 4-lane highway. 4-lane highway with a construction process that I'm going to be showing you here that is so flawed that even you as not engineer or engineer among you guys will find this thing is flawed. But the reason I'm not saying it just because to criticize, but I'm hoping that these people will listen to some of us. Because as I stated before, we're all in this boat together. They don't say Republic of CDC. They say Republic of Liberia. CDC will be there for 12 years, 24 years. I don't care how long. But eventually somebody else will come in. And if you don't do a good job now, then the next person coming in, and you want people to praise you. So let me show you, folks. Samson told Labron Public, this is what we have here. They were talking about, and sedition. Oh, we see this is some of the things. This is some of the things at the time. I didn't pay attention to the way CDC and sedition overtone platform were promoting this as though it's the holy grail of everything else. But as an engineer, I knew very well. I knew better. So I wasn't going. I was glad and I was happy, but I wasn't going overboard because I know the ramification of these things. These are schematic. I know those things. Construction, even if they were to show us the drawing, the blueprint out in the office, the way you do things and things, the construction is not the same. Where your lines seem to intersect here, when you get to construction, those lines will not even meet. So, and that's why in most engineering firms, including the area that I work, they allow you to go to construction, spend 1 year in construction. For me, I spent almost 18 years or even more in construction until I got tired of it. Until the people forget it, send me back to Total, or I'm not going to construction anymore. Because I used to have my own company in Ohio, construction company in Ohio. So I know much. Before that, I was working with another Nigerian guy who also has a construction company, and we did a lot of construction work in Ohio. Okay, road work, water reservation, reservoir. We did all of those things, pipe running. I was one of those. They have some plastic pipe nowadays. And the Nigerian guy company that I was working for was one of the first company to have the plastic pipe contract. And so they brought people in from all over Ohio to see how the plastic pipe were being joined together. And what it did was, and you go research it, you'll find it. They take a hot iron, well, these big iron, they're about maybe 15 inches in diameter, and they have they plug the whatchamacallit in, and between them you put this plate in there, and they come together and heat this plate up to a certain degree. You take that plate and put it onto the other side of the plastic, and you bring the other plastic and you melt them to a certain degree. After that, you lift the plate, and the machine come and push the two plastic pipe together, and they seal. You can't take them apart. So, and the good thing about that plastic, because it's plastic, so it's flexible. It's not like a cast iron pipe. It's not flexible. Those are steel. You can't bend unless you put air bore in it. Whereas the plastic pipe, you don't necessarily need air bore unless you're going to do 90 degree or more than what the flexibility of the plastic. Why am I going through all of this engineering tonight? Oh, I'm on fire, folks. I'm on fire, seriously. Unless the plastic pipe that we were using, it has certain flexibility, let's put it that way. And so because of that, we took advantage of it. Something will come, there's a tree in the way, and they have all the roots and stuff like that. We just go around the tree. It's simple, because we don't have to put air bore in it. We don't have to put some sort of a degree of no, the deflection is there, go pew, pew. I just thought that I'd put that on there. So I did a lot of construction work in Ohio. So when I came back here, and then what took me out of my own company in Ohio, check it out. It's called TODEE Construction. TOE-DEE, general contractor. Check it out. I was duly registered with the state of Ohio as a minority contractor. Now, let me tell you about the people what they did to me. So as a minority contractor, the big boys, when they get their $2-3 million contract, they got to look for me, and people like me, to get me some contract. So we go and get contract from them from here and there. Then the state of California, if you follow construction throughout the mid-90s, the state of California decided they want to do away with the set-aside, they call them. Ohio got hold of that. As being a conservative state, they said no more set-aside. I said, is that right? I'm not going to compete with these people with $1 million project. Where do I get that kind of bounding from? I don't have that kind of money to bound myself with that. But guess what? I have a civil engineering degree. I don't have to get stuck in construction. I said, I'm going to go to design. I left. That's how come I came to California to become a designer. Now you know the story. That's what I keep telling you. Come to Samson Toll's show, you listen to a lot of stuff. The true story. But anyway, let's move on. So basically what I'm telling you, I'm not taking a back seat when it comes to construction, when it comes to engineering. I'm not taking a back seat, especially roadway engineering. Well, I'm not even taking a back seat when it comes to superstructure either. A vertical structure, let's put it that way. I can also design building. I can do concrete work. So I'm not taking a back seat. In engineering, I'm taking a back seat when it comes to, but I'm not even, how do you call it, mechanical engineer. So let Richard Banto, then let them carry their trouble on that side. They're the mechanical engineer, let them carry their trouble on that side. But if I'm forced to go do mechanical engineering work, I will hold my own. I might not get a big mouth. I might not be able to have a big mouth like I have now in civil, but I because what? I can do finite element. I can bluff my way up. I might not be that spectacular, but I can do a little bit. But anyway, that's besides the point. So let's get back here. So when they are you lost yet? No, stay with me. But anyway, on a very serious note, when the East International came out, the schematic came out for the Rawa International Highway, I saw the rendering design, and I thought it was very interesting. And so I put myself in it, but I'm not one of those tiny sedition. They were out here thinking, say, this is the end and make end all. I knew very well, I like it, but I'm waiting to see. As an engineer, I was not very able to put my foot in my mouth. They were all over themselves in the place. And here we are. And let me say it again. The process that I'm seeing right now, they're going to have some serious problem. The process that that Carrasco videotape and Front Page Africa was able to show on the picture, if they don't reverse that process, they're going to have some serious problem. The rain is coming. And I like to know how I will get to that. You know, sometimes these people, they don't think. It seemed to me that for some reason, maybe nobody is watching them to say, you can't do this. You have to put your foot down. But maybe then sometimes East International, for them to get this kind of $100 and some more million, then you're wondering who gave them the contract anyway. But I'm not going to go into that. Let's go. Let me show you, folks, the schematic. It's about 4 minutes. Stay with me. Let's watch it together. Samson told Labron Pub Radio.
D12 on the beat. All I do was win. All I do was win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. All I do was win. All I do was win. I say I jump over it. Now who you give me I jump over it. I say I jump over it. Now who you give me I jump over it. Hey, we'll see it. I say that way, yeah. So you forced to them. You know, let me tell you forced to them. You forced to them. You know, let me tell you forced to them. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When I come go, it will eat. And when I need it, it will hurt. When I need it, it will do. All I do was win. All I do was win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you was born to win, yeah. All I do was win. All I do was win. I say I jump over it. Now who you do with me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. Now who you do with me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. They can do what they do, and they can talk all the talk. They can do what they do. Hey, turn the fire, they put it. Holy Ghost fire, they put it. Turn the fire, they put it. All I do is win. born to win. I say you are born to win. All I do is win, 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 win. All I do is win, 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 win. They will see a kuro with a baby apple. They will see a kuro with a small apple. They will see a kuro with a baby apple. They will see a kuro with a small apple. Jehovah blessing, don't make it curses. Jehovah blessing, don't make it curses. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say I jump away, the whole you do with me, I jump away. All I do is win, 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 win. All I do is win, 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 win. Born to win, I say I was born to win, born to win. I say you were born to win, born to win. I say I was born to win, born to win. I say you were born to win, nobody can stop it. I say I jump away, the whole you do with me, I jump away. All I do is win, 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 win. All I do is win, 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 win. Born to win, I say I was born to win, born to win. I say you were born to win, born to win. I say I was born to win, born to win. I say you were born to win.
So, there you have it. I thought I'd do this to remind you. Well, as an engineer, I'm quite aware that they were not going to be able to produce this type, even here in the United States. Nobody's going to be able to produce that schematic over there. Look at the amount of guide rail they have on that. What will you need? The guide rail placement based on design criteria that is set for a specific area. You don't just put guide rail down because you think you're going to put it down. But the point is, the reason of me playing this is that when it first started here, see how the tiny sedition, yeah, one of them here right now talking a bunch of what you know what, but I'm not even going to pay attention to them. But those that had the platform, they were praising, I mean, including me. Except I have limit, but they were all over this place. Now, I'm going to show you something here. It's not a video. I'll show you a video. But look at this. Look at this. Look, these are the equipment these people are. Look at the truck that they have over there. Look at that truck. In order to build 4-lane highway, even if you're not an engineer, you would think there'll be trucks that line up to, if they want to meet 2023, you would think there will be trucks that line up to do the work faster. Look at it. One bike hole. Look at the truck. One grader. But they say, according to them, they have the equipment on ground to do the work. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I want you to stay with me, folks. I want you to stay with me. These things, even if you're not engineer, I would do my best not to involve too much engineering or construction terms here tonight. I want you to understand a little bit what I'm saying. I mean, what I'm saying and why I'm saying it. It's not strictly because I'm against this government. I love, and you know me already. I like the policy, especially when it comes to road business. What kinds of engineer that would not like road engineering business? I love it, but it must be implemented. I mean, with informed knowledge. You can't just get and say, I'm going to do it and do it. Look at this here. Let me just show you something here. This is the issue that I have. And it's very, very disheartening. Let me show you something here. You see the picture I'm showing you? This is the sad situation. This is a sad situation. Those are two pipes that goes across the road, the existing IRA road as we speak. But look how high they are from the new gravel, the new dirt they have over there. So hopefully they're going to fill it up. I hope. But what would be your point of exposing the pipe like that? What would be your point? For what reason? What engineering or construction reason that you will expose the pipe like this without even putting a block underneath those pipe? What if it starts raining tonight? What if it starts raining when you're no longer out there? The water coming that way, what the pipe you see, it coming towards the ocean. So if it starts raining, this is the new road. They said they're building the base of the road. So if it starts raining, you have no prevention. You have no prevention mechanism over there to make sure the water that comes out of the pipe goes strictly towards across the river. Across the road. So what is the point? And these are people that are supposed to do a 4-lane highway, folks. I just want you to look at the side slope up there above the pipe. It's the existing road. Look at the dirt on this existing road. Look how they build it up. It's stable. It's stable. I just want you to see this here. Now let me show you something else. Okay? These are things that when they do, then you feel like, are these people serious? Are they serious? Can they really do these kinds of work? Can they do it? Do they have the ability to do these kinds of work? Okay? The pipe that I just showed you, do these people really, do they have the ability to show to us that the schematic that you just saw, and these people, you're going to have confidence in these people to give you that kinds of road, that the schematic, even if they're not the way it's supposed to be, that schematic, you're supposed to give me more than 50% of what I just showed you. Do these people have the ability? I don't think so. I don't think so. Let me show you something else. It's a very short video, but let me show you something else, folks. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. These are the face of the company. I will assume these are Liberians, but East International, we know it's a Chinese-owned company anyway. But let's look at this video and just look at this and listen to the guy. I cut it up so you know, because if I show the entire stage, it's just embarrassing. But let's listen to this.
Putting a contractor take this project very serious. Even putting a contractor take this project very serious. Even putting a contractor take this project very serious. Even putting a contractor take this project very serious. Even putting a contractor take.
Okay, so you saw that. Watch that. You see the car passing up there? That on the road. On the road, car going towards Monrovia, other one coming towards Broward Fee. This is dangerous, to say the least. They have cut the side slope. When you're supposed to have a side slope like this, and then you go out. In engineering design, roadway design, they have what they call clear recovery zone. In other words, I start driving. I start thinking about Toll Town. All my good days. All the fish I used to eat in Toll Town. I start driving. Start enjoying myself. I fall asleep. I start going to off the road. I must be the design. As a designer, I should put in that place to make sure if God helps Samson to get up, he can come back. Even if his car is on a slope that day, he can still come back. They have what they call clear recovery zone. Folks, that thing you look at right here, if somebody make mistake and get off that road, he going down the place, the people dicky. What kind of business is this? Why do the people put us through these things? And these are the engineers are public work, highly educated, smart people. Why will you let these kinds of things happen? As though as for us, we got nothing with nobody. They can just do whatever they want to do to us. Let me show you something else. These are some of the things when you talk about that, they say, oh, he hate the government. He like no development. We're talking development here? Watch this again.
Machine is still here working at this hour. Doing combating that. And the road project has begun. You can see the very huge machine, very, very huge. They're trying to compact this place. I mean, you can see how thick this machine is still here working at this hour.
You saw that. You saw the road above the area where the roller was going through. The roller, that roller is a compactor. The roller is a compactor. Before you put that, folks, this is what, and when I read it for my show, for the real engineering show, first I will come and show you the different equipment. Before you use this roller, you're supposed to have what they call sheet foot roller. It has like a ball in it, and those are the ball. They have crawl, and they go around like that, pushing the dirt inside one another. The issue, first of all, you have to understand what a soil is. Soil, like any other thing, has a makeup, has its own individualistic makeup. So soil has the soil property. If you do soil mechanics, soil property, they have what they call magnesium that holds together. So when you bring these soil together, they're loose. So when you put them down, the reason why you use the sheet foot and the roller, you want to align the binding power of the soil. So when you mash them and then you align them together, they're holding each other. So you don't have shear. So you don't have tear in the soil. What's the reason of this? This is ridiculous to the most. I don't care what you say about me. Why these people? And these people are educated. These are university graduates that are working with public work. You want to tell me, as an engineer, you can't find a job anywhere else that you're going to let people to push you around? Dr. Weir is not an engineer. All he knows is, okay, folks, we got to have road here. The engineer said, we're going to put it down. The contractor said, I can do it. You have to build the road based on the specification. Specification. Simple, nothing else. But look at this thing that I just showed you, folks. What I just showed you. What is this? Now, let me show you something else. This is the side one. This is not a video, it's a picture, courtesy of Front Page Africa. Look at that picture, folks. You see the road up there? What a grader coming towards us. The road up there. If somebody coming from Monrovia and fall asleep at night, that person coming to where that grader is, he's not driving there, he's falling in. Accident. Look, and when you're doing these kinds of construction, you have to put barrier between you, your construction site, and the live traffic. It's called staging. You stage your job. You say, at this time, I'm going to be working on this side. Okay, I'll come back to the picture. You're going to say, I'm working on this. This is the roadway. This is one going, one coming. Of course, I can't do my hand like this. So one going, one coming. So if I'm working on here, in the middle here, I will put K-rail or some sort of a barrier to protect my workers against the large traffic, to protect the live traffic against my equipment, to separate the two. You don't see any of that over there. These are people that are supposed to give us Ramafi Highway. These people. And you want people to be quiet and just accept it. We're all from Liberia. This is unacceptable. You can't have these kinds of things and expect people to take you serious. This is unacceptable. Let me show you something. Let me go back to this picture. Okay? Let me go back to this picture. Now, I'm gonna zoom in on this one, folks. Samson told Lpr-Tv Radio. I'm gonna zoom in on this one. Okay? And I want you to see something here. I want you to see something. Look at this, folks. You see the rocks? You see the rocks? They're on a roll. Now, this is sad. This is sad. You know, when I watch these kinds of stuff, it just brings sadness to me. If I were to show this kind of picture at work and say this is what happened in Liberia, people are going to be laughing. So but what am I going to say? I'm a Liberian. This is sad, folks. In 2021, and you're still going to build road like they're building a road in 1921. For what reason? For what reason? Yes, the stuff you're washing right now. If it rains, what is stopping the dirt to go through the rocks? Okay? I just want you to watch it, and then I'll show you something else. Okay? Rocks, especially those boulders, they are now binding together. When you put them together, even small rocks, when you put them together, you have void as they come and touch each other. There's void in between. You can build rocks as a base. I live here in California. Highway 1 is built on rocks. Highway 80, the area that I work in, did a paving job over there. I did a design, then I went to do the construction inspection of the paving job. Built on rocks. But this is how you do it. You know what a revetment is? You know when they say they want to protect the shore against the wave of the ocean, then they put rocks on those things. They don't put rocks just like that. They space the rocks based on size. They have 2 tons, 6 tons, different sizes of rocks. So when you put the big one at the bottom, between the big rocks, there's space. So you find rock that will fit in that space, and you put it in. My people, it's just so simple. It's not anything that you got to go all the way to London to go study. These things are simple. The thing I just show you here, let me just show you that again, folks. Samson to Lpr-Tv. Let me just show you this again. Now you tell me, these rocks that you're looking at, are they space? These are the kinds of rocks you say the people put them in there purposely by spacing them? Because of the voids between those rocks. If it rains, the smaller soil, the smaller particle of the soil will seep through. Okay? The smaller particle, the smallest part of the soil that's smaller than the void in the rock, it will seep through. And what you're going to have left, the rock going to be exposing up there because no more dirt there. All the dirt now go. The dirt want to settle. Anything. Why you think you have foundation settlement? If you build your house and you don't have a good base, in other words, you lay your foundation on a faulty ground, you have settlement. And that's why you have people coming in and compacting the area before you put your foundation on. Because when you compact, you align the soil particle to hold together so you don't have shear. If you have shear in the soil, you have cracks in your foundation. Simple, nothing else. This is what's going to happen. So in this day and age, this is Samson too. I'm like I said, if you're not here for engineering tonight, please just pack your satoka and I will say bye-bye. I appreciate you coming on. But I want to show, as I critique these things, I want to also show that these things can be helped. And this is the fakes. And I'm going to be showing you some fakes here tonight. So here in America, when you go to construction, they face the same problem. They have rock mixed with soil. But they have what they call separator. Yeah. And the separator, you don't need to go to Hero to buy separator or China to go buy separator. The separator can be made right there in Monrovia. And I will show you. Let me show you. What's my separator? Okay, right here. It's a separator. Separator, right there. Soil separator. And let me, no, not that one. Hold on, just bear with me. Let me go on and zoom into the separator so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, bear with me. Okay, you see here, I won't even show the other one. Let me show the red one. You see the red box over there? On top of it, some people call it alligator, some people call it gorilla, some people call it bear, but on top of it, it has space, the metal that runs longitudinally, it has space in between. So when you come and put rock and soil over this separator, the big rock will stay and fall out. The smaller one will fall into that bend. And you can do that. It's easy. So you put the rocks. What I just show you, this is what these people were supposed to do. Let me show you again. They're supposed to, before they put this dirt on, you separate the rock from the dirt. And then you lay the rock purposely by spacing them. And then you take the smaller rock, smaller boulder, and put it in between. So the dirt you're going to put on top will not go through. So the dirt, after you finish spacing these rocks, when you space them out, the big one, you space them out. Then you take the smaller one and make it a second layer. Then you take the smaller one and make it a third layer. Then by the time you put the dirt over it, the dirt, because the smaller one on top, the void among the smaller one is not big enough for many of these soil to go through. But the way they have it, if it was to rain tonight, you go back there tomorrow, everything will be gone. And only rock going to explode. Am I lying, folks? I mean, you don't have to be an engineer. Just common thinking. And these are people they expect us to believe that truly, these people will give us the full lane. As though some of us are just so stupid. Liberians of today are now your Liberian of yesterday. And they are more sophisticated young Liberian than some of the things I'm saying right now. Some of them watching me and say, hey, let Papa too old man, let him get out of here. People know, we know people ain't mean business. They already condemn you. I'm just talking. But there are some young engineers that are more proficient, more involved than I am. So you can't fool people. This is not working and it's not going to work. Okay. Like I told you, I'm going to show you the fix here. This is the separator. Okay. The separator I just showed you. Let me show you the total separator. This is the total separator, folks. Samson told Lpr-Tv. You see that one? Let me make it bigger so you can see. Let me make it bigger so you can see, because when it's far away from you like that, you can't see anything. Let me make it bigger so you can see. You see the separator? You see it? You see the separator? You see the people dumping the gravel in there, and between that, there's a sifter. And you know, pump water sifter, they have sift. Different sizes of particle, soil particle go through, and they number them. So based on the engineering specification, what number size you're going to be using on the row, based on that you can do a separation. And when you do the separation, then you compact the dirt and test it on a weight. They're killing us. These people are killing us. Before you put the soil, Ramafi Highway, do you know what's the traffic volume on that road? And you're going to give us something, what the roller, you saw the roller going in and out like this, that the kind of thing we're going to be quiet on. This is the separator. Okay? Let me show you something. Now, how is this separator work? Now, let's watch. This is the total separator. The video I'm going to be showing you now. Total separator. The one that don't beat people, that don't quit people. But for $110 million, and you can't get something to separate those things. So if you separate those rocks, if you have your separator in the quarry, where you go and dig the dirt, you start separating from there. And you say, okay, we separate all of the big rock. They go one side. Then we move the machine. We change the gorilla or the sift. We change it to different size and take this same one and put it in. The small rock fall down. The smaller one go on up. And then you move on until you have the exact particle that is required. This common thing. Common thing. They're not doing it. Now let's go at the video of total separator. Folks, I'm making fun of these things, but they are very serious. What I'm about to show you, you don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. What I'm about to show you, all you need to spend no more than $1,000 or even less to be able to come up with a separator that will be able to do the kind of work that you need to do it over there. But they're not doing that. They think people are just stupid. You have people coming in, putting these kind of rocks down with nobody questioning them. Then that means there's two things that are going on here. Either the people don't have no blueprint, they have no specification, they have no specification on how to build this road. They're just building it by sight. By sight and the faith in God that we all have. We hope it will go around. Because when I showed you the video earlier, did you see any survey stake that will tell you what elevation these people are trying to achieve? None. No survey to say they're trying to achieve certain elevation. None whatsoever. Survey stake guide the operator of this machine to say, okay, I'm putting dirt here. I need this much. They're not doing that. Let me go to a separator and I'll come back to that. These are things that when we do to ourselves, and we suffer. We suffer. Let me show you what I consider to be total separator. Samson told Lpr-Tv. Folks, is that difficult to understand? All the rocks that he doesn't need in that part to be part of that soil all fall out. And he pick his bucket, grab the soil he wanted, and move it. Is that simple? Is that difficult? You think this? I didn't play the entire video, but it doesn't cost any more than $1,000 or so to fix that stuff. That is what I consider to be total separator. If you do that, then people take you serious a little bit. But you come in and put this kind of junk down and you expect people to be quiet. If you put this kind, if you use separator to separate borders from these things, you will not have these hump. But look at the road right now. Even as dry as it is, the rock already starts showing up. And many of the roads they build in Liberia, they do these kinds of stuff. They do these kinds of stuff. As though for us, we have no clue. In as much as happy and anxious we like for us to have road, at least, my people, you ought to do it right. Even if it's not going to finish now, let's do it right. Let me show you now the quick people on a separator, my people. Let me show you the quick separator. That not total separator I'm going to run. This one a little bit expensive, but you will get the point. This one has a conveyor belt. The dirt fall through the separator and the conveyor belt take the dirt to the truck. Very interesting, but it's a little bit expensive. Watch this.
It has no grizzly. How long it would hold up.
There you have it, folks. Samson told Labron Public Radio. There you have it. That is the quick people on a separator. It has a conveyor belt underneath. The dirt falls on between the screen and fall onto the conveyor belt. The conveyor belt takes that dirt and put it straight into the truck. The rocks that are not needed or that might be used later on, they'll be separated. And those rocks These people might need that rock later. Believe me, when they start doing the bridge across that river on Ralphie Highway, they're going to need those rocks. But guess what they're going to do? They're going to start digging on the bed of the river. The environmental issue, forget it. We're in serious trouble. We are. We are. Who's giving these people right now to go start digging the place I showed you earlier, where the truck was, where the people digging? Do they have environmental permit to do those things? In that area, the area where these people are right now, the area where they are, okay? That area, you can tell that is environmentally sensitive area. But if you were to ask them right now, where's the permit? They can't show you. Okay? And I just thought that I'd show you. Now, you go on Colasco page and you will see this video. There's much more on that video, but I particularly don't care to show that, because then it's like I'm trying to honor mine or something, because I know what those things depicted on that video. They don't make no sense. They just don't make no sense. Okay? Let me show you the last video. I showed you that before, but let me show you where the rotor, as it comes out to roll, you will see the rotor is supposed to vibrate, but they are there then to vibrate that area. They can't vibrate it. They can't. Because you think they think they're smart. Because the fact that they are, if they vibrate, the soil is going to go down more, and then it's going to require them to get more soil. So they don't vibrate. But that machine they're using supposed to vibrate as it drives, as it move on. Because when they vibrate, you shake the soil so that they can compact together, and the soil particle will be able to hold themselves. They're not going to do that. Let me show you this video that I'm talking about. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Listen to this, and look at the equipment. These are people that are supposed to give us Ralphie Highway. I'm not talking about these little tiny road they build around town. We're talking highway. The volume, traffic volume on that Ralphie Highway is more than any other place. Not only people go to Buchanan on that road, but people go to Ralphie every day. So they abuse the road going to take from the truck, from the cars. Substantial. And so you have to build that road. Your structure section must be tough enough to be able to withstand that. Okay? But the next show that I'm going to have, I'm going to go a little bit deeper than that. I think this is the only way that these people will try to listen to Samson Toll, maybe. Because I've called everyone. I called, I don't want to name now, but I call ministers. I call senator, make arrangement with them. I can help. I don't need job. They ain't got money to pay me. You know how much I make right now? They ain't got 5 cents to pay me. What? Even if I were to retire now, my retirement money is more than the money they will give me in Liberia. So why come I waste my time for a job for? But it's not about that. The point here is this. We want to impact the young engineers. I give you an example. You know me, I don't hide anything. You think I'm able to go and stay in that sun whole day anymore? No. If I go over there 1 hour, 2 hours, I want to sit in the car, drink some water, I'll be tired. But the little knowledge that I have, if I can impact the young people to say these are the kinds of things you need to look for when you give somebody a contract, he's not your brother. Even if it is your brother, at that moment, he's no longer related to you. He's there to do a job. You, with this piece of paper, this is the paper you tell him that will be his guide. But do you see anybody over there looking like an inspector? Let me play this video. And you tell me if you see anybody looking at an inspector. And one of the things, before I also open my line for people to call in, one of the things I want you to look at also is see if you find any, the tires, just scan the area with your eyes and see if you find any stake, survey stake, pointing out elevation. How high these people are supposed to make this dirt go. I want you to see that. And then I'll come to the safety aspect of it as well.
Doing combating that. A road project has become. You can see the very huge machine, very, very huge. They're trying to compart this. I mean, you can see how thick this machine is still here working at this hour. Doing comparting.
The car you saw up there going up and down, they have no clear recovery zone. Let me say this again. Clear recovery zone. Go look it up. Look up on Google, and they will tell you what it is. It's a process. It's a role. When you design a role, they tell you, I'm not going to sit here and tell you without me designing the role and tell you this is a condition. But you have to have certain length outside of the edge of shoulder or edge of pavement for somebody when they fall off asleep, so that I will be able to recover and come back on the road. Now, here in California, not only do you have to provide that, but nowadays they have what they call rumble strip. So when you're driving and you get off the road, you hear your tire drive on the rumble stuff, and you hear and you that will wake you up. Even if you're driving the center of the road, you feel asleep, and you're getting on, you hear the sound, the tire go through, it'll wake you up. But in case you don't wake up in time and you get off, but that you will be able to sway back in and come on back on the road. You have to provide that. Not only do you provide that, but you also must be able to, if you're bending the curves, if you look at Maria Carter Highway, few places you can say they don't even have a clear recovery zone. I'm not even going to touch that. But that's an old alignment anyway, so I'm not going to worry about that. But if you're going to use the old alignment and you're going to put it right back to where it was, then what's the point? Paving? No, you try to, when you do these rehab program, you try to improve the condition. Even if you don't bring it up to standard, improve a little bit. They don't have sight distance. Some of the curves, the same curve Tommy Bonan died on before many of you are born, that curve stayed there, ain't changed it. And when you're bending that curve, you can't even see 50 feet ahead of you before you load your car right there in front of you. Many of the times. No sight distance. And those are the kinds of stuff people saying, and then you have people will try to criticize. It don't matter to me. You can say whatever you want to say. I don't care. I'm not here to criticize because the people are not doing are not doing job because I don't like the government. No. As Kalasco said on our video, if you watch that, he said many of you in the diaspora will come and utilize this road. And that's true. And we appreciate that. But it must be done correctly. It must be done correctly. You can't cut corners. Safety. Look at a video that I just showed you, the last video. As people driving from Monroe go towards Ralphie, if the person fall asleep, he's going straight into that ditch. That's a ditch now. How are you going to build road below the existing condition, and then you provide no safety aspect? What to stop them from falling in? When somebody else's son or daughter or somebody else or wife died at a time, you'll start regretting? You're trying to improve the situation, but right now you make it worse. Yes, another interesting thing I want to point out before I go. Let me play this video again. Let me play this video again so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm not going to say anything. Just watch the side slope of the existing road, the road where the car then driving on. Watch the side slope. Watch.
And the road project has become. You can see the very huge machine, very, very huge. They're trying to compact this place. I mean, you can see how thick this thick.
And here's the interesting thing that I want to leave for you before I go put it up, so that those of you who want to call will call in. Here's the interesting thing. The side slope, which is from the edge of pavement, you have the road like this. Okay, this is the road from here. This is the side slope. Okay. When they got down here, they cut the side slope. So you have, instead of coming down like this, you have it there and then it go down. Usually when you're doing those things, you try to protect the existing structure integrity of the existing structure. By sharing, you put plank, wood, to shield the existing condition. Because here's what's happening. You don't have to be a scientist or physicist or a mathematician or an engineer either. But if you take something and put it down, the weight of this phone is being distributed by this table. Because if the weight was not distributed, if it's just become a single point load, it will go through. But because that table is able to distribute this weight, and that's why it's going to stand up. Same thing here. The truck, the car that goes through, each one of those, they have a weight. The movement, the movement, whatever nanosecond, whatever, the movement where the position of the car, the weight there is distributed by the base of the road. So if you, I'm sorry, I'm not going to, and when I come back, my next show, I will show you all of that. The tire doesn't go down like this. The tire low go like this. It comes out, boom, then it's spread out. So by the time it gets to the bottom, the weight is distributed. Here's the thing about the video that I just showed you. Now that they have disturbed the side slope, they needed to put some sort of a bracing to brace the road, the existing road, from caving in. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. When it rains, the water that coming from that new road, that is just the one what I greater on, the water that coming from it, they have not provided positive drainage for that water to go through. That water now going to go, it's not going to come this way. Water like to go where it's soft. So most likely water, you have a side slope like this and you have a road. So now this side here will be considered gutter for the water. And as the water going through, because of the force of the water, the flow, the Q that go, I don't know how much gonna come through there, because I've not done any kind of hydraulics analysis on this to know what's the Q gonna be. And that's not, but I'm just saying there will be a Q. I don't care whether you do analysis or not. There will be a Q. So the Q that's gonna be coming out there, the force of that Q, I don't know that because I don't know how much coming in. But eventually, you're gonna have erosion. It's gonna start eating underneath the existing road. So how long this mess gonna stay like this? How long? How long before they recognize that they are not only building something here, but they are destroying the thing that they're supposed to protect? Because I don't see no shoring in there. There's no shoring. I'll show you the video. I'll show you the video. You're going to say, well, Mr. Toll, it's maybe 2 to 1, so you don't need shoring. Yes, 2 to 1 until you get to taller slope. They cut the taller slope. There's no longer taller slope. So the fact that the total slope come like this and meet here, you cut this, you don't have total slope anymore. You have a shear. You have a like almost 90 degree, not even 45. So what's going to happen when it start raining? They lose. These people, they're not thinking. When they cut the total slope, the weight, all these years, the weight of that road, they're going to start finding out, oh, I find Savior, they saved me. No rock, they're going to start dancing. Before you know, they start peeling off. Then the trouble they try to save, then they create more problem. If it rains, if you don't fix that place, and the rain season finish, I will show you. That place will be a serious problem for them. Because remember, Ralphie Highway, you have, if I'm sorry right now, my stuff is not so I can show you on Google Earth. Tower Hill go like this, and they come back to Monrovia like that. So you have a hill like that. So all the water from Tower Hill, they go towards Ralphie, some come towards Monrovia, to the river. So if that place, you can see the type of vegetation, you know that's a lowland. Not only is it a lowland, but you know the vegetation in that area. That means that most likely is a swampy area. In fact, if you watch Carrasco video, you will see water already start sitting on the side. I don't want to show these things because if I show them and start pointing them out, then that means they like I hate them or something. But these are kinds of stuff. And that's why when I try my best to reach out to them, they don't, sometimes, oh, Mr. Tour, I will call you. They don't call back. That's okay. Yeah, you don't have to call me. I don't want job. But these things must be pointed out so that our brothers and sisters will understand that these things are possible. You can do that. Almost a year or so, I used to cry here. Well, not cry literally, but I used to say here. They have a system in Monrovia where they build these open ditch. In the process of construction, they have these steel rod. Our people call them steel rod, we call them rebar. These steel rods sticking up. In this country, if you're on a construction site and you have a rebar standing up, a steel rod standing up, at the end of the day, you put cap, plastic cap. You are compared. If you don't put plastic cap on it, they close your job down. The state will put a plastic cap on it, but they will shut you down. They didn't listen to me. Quite recently, I believe, a young man fell off of a tree or something and got pierced in the back of his neck. He died. And those things, plastic cap, you can say, Mr. Toe, those things are expensive. Yeah, 19 cents a piece. So if you got $200-300, that's a lot of money. But guess what? You take 2x4. 2x4. If this is the steel rod, okay? These two, I don't know whether you can, okay. Let's just say this is a steel rod, you can see it, right? So if you take 2x4 and lay you have 500 of 2x4. Well, you're not going to buy 2x4 from overseas. You can make 2x4 right there in total if you want. They got it locked. And you put 2x4 to block the point of the steel rod sticking up. And you lay the 2x4 across. Anybody get up and fall on those things, they're going to break something. But the iron not going to pierce them because the 2x4 is going to be. I've been saying it over and over until somebody not die. So what you want me to do? What you want me to do? When people tell to get tired, then that's it. I'll continue to talk. I'm not going to get tired. But anyway, let me go ahead and open the line. If you want to give me a call here this evening, Samson told LeBron Public Radio. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time, of course. Like I said, I take no backseat to anybody when it comes to engineering. Please, don't even try me. Don't, especially road engineering, don't try me. Don't try me. My name is Samson Toll. Don't try me. I respect your view, but don't try me. Talk about it. You're going to come here and try to bring engineering issue and what have you. You're good. You're just as good as anybody else. But don't think that I will take backseat of you. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Okay. Give me a call. Give me a call. Okay. Give me a call. Give me a call, folks. Samson told. Let me put it. Okay, I'm connected. Let me put a number up, and then give me a call, and let's have a conversation on this. Okay, that's my number right there. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, Mr. Toll, this is Camus. I'm calling you live from Cedar Rapids. How you doing?
Where are you? Cedar Rapids?
Yeah, in Iowa.
Okay.
That's where I'm calling you from.
What happened? Wait. Okay, well, that's fine. I don't want to say it. Go ahead, make a point, brother.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say thank you for the education provided us. Some of us are following it. Like you said, the last statement you made, you've been saying it over and over concerning those who need a construction fee when they're doing their work, they're leaving those steel raw unprotected. You've been saying it over and over until that little boy lost his life. He fell from the coconut tree and then got struck through that steel raw. It was very sad. But these are things that you talk, people don't listen, and some people come on by saying you hate the person or you hate the government. I just want to make this clear. Every Liberian, whether you're in Liberia or outside Liberia, we all have interest in Liberia. We are all entitled to Liberia. We should discuss issues, evolve, profanity, and all sort of words that will make the other Liberians feel that they are not important. This is why today our country looks the way it is, especially today, April 12th, which is a day that every Liberian knows. 41 years ago, terrible thing happened in Liberia there. We say something for it. Let us all come together, discuss issues. We can disagree to agree. There's too much of you hate, plenty, this. It won't help us. Everybody have equal share income in the development of Liberia. So when Mr. Toll is giving a professional view, listen, if you're close to the government, you can make the recommendation. You can tell the government there's an individual who always talking about road construction. I think you guys should take time to listen to him. He has a point. But not to come on the main show and be telling him how he hate this and this. Thank you so much, Mr. Toll. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. That people don't bother me. Thank you.
You better take a walk.
Samson told Labrador Public Radio, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Good evening, Mr. Tu. This is Sandra Sharper calling from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Thank you. Thank you for calling. We appreciate it. What's on your mind, sir?
Well, this is the part of your show that I really, enjoy. Whenever you have something relating to your field or expertise, particularly, in rural construction. So, I want to thank you for the show and, providing your expertise once again. I don't know if, like you said, or you haven't been contacted, you haven't been reached out to, you've made yourself available, numerous times, for possible assistance. But we really have a big problem, in our beloved country, Liberia. First of all, most Liberians are, resistful to change. Those on the ground feel that maybe by seeking assistance from, more knowledgeable people who are outside, working on a big, within a bigger dimension, they may feel that they are being belittled, by reaching out and, getting assistance to get things done the right way. But even the construction schools, I don't know if they're even teaching construction, at the LU level. I mean, how much of an accurate and information are they teaching in there? Are they seeking, external like consultants? If it's only maybe online training or maybe having classes via, online, if the person can be local, I think those are other possibilities, for the folks down there to look at, because as it stands right now, as you point all the lapses out, we're far behind. We're very far behind. So, as you said, you reach out, so many times. I just want to encourage you, and to admonish you, if you can, please reach out a little bit more. I know at a certain point you will get fed up, but, like I said, you're really knowledgeable of your field. And this is one area that, I really enjoy you whenever, you come on. So please continue the good work.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Let me say something here very quickly here, folks. And I've been reading many comments here, and people. What I want us to understand, and let me put this. Sir, President, can you just hold on 1 minute? Let me make my point here, and then I'll bring you in. Don't go, please. I want to one.
Yes, sir.
Concept. Okay, folks. Let me just say this here. I'm not old. I'm only 15 years old. No, but on a very serious note. Nothing anybody will say about me that will move me. Nothing. I'm not only called a liberal progressive, I'm called Bloku. And in the Crown language, specifically Queenable language, Bloku means elephant skin. I'm thick. You can't move me. So please don't waste your time with people trying to be calling me names or being disrespectful. Hey, don't worry about it. Let them. They have the right to do that. It's their right. It's within your spirit. In order for you to be disrespectful to somebody, you have to elevate your spirit to disrespectfulness for you to come across perfectly. And after that, then you have to deprogram yourself to be respectful. So that yo is not on me, it's on there. I just want to point that out. Let me take this call. Thank you very much for your patience. So please make your point. Make your point. Thank you very much for the patience. Thank you.
How you doing, Mr. Shaw?
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That's your man's wallow. That's everything, man. Look, I know nothing about engineering. I just have a few questions, Mr. Toll.
Yeah, go ahead.
To learn more about this process. Now, you pointed out a lot of losses in the construction. Here's the question for you: if those losses are not addressed and the road is constructed in the manner they are constructing, what are the consequences later on? That's the first question, for example.
Okay, let's just go to the area that I just showed you here. Okay, now let me show that again. Okay,
I'm listening.
Yeah, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, so for example, in this area that I was concentrating on here, let's just say they're able to lay this road and pour asphalt and things like that on. This area going to be issue because it's not compacted adequately. You can just look at it. By grading it does not mean anything. The second thing is, if you were to watch, go on Colasco page. He has a video on there, and that video will tell you a lot. If you were to watch the entire video, as the way things are right now, the road that is being utilized by traffic is the existing road, but the fact that they're cutting because the side slope, and let me show you again. The side slope, you see what a grader is, right? On the left side of the grader, if you're coming from Monrovia, the side slope of the existing condition, that slope doesn't come all the way to meet the ground. They come out and then they cut it. They go down, boom, just sharp like that, 90-degree down. So that area will be the area of concern. They're going to have issue with it because what they have done, they created a area where the water can now try to go through. And the fact that this particular side slope will be eroded when time goes by. This thing, when you're doing it, you have to protect it. You put shoring on it. You put I'm not saying put a retaining wall, but put shoring on it so that when you start cutting, it does not affect the live traffic. And those are the kinds of issues they're going to face.
Okay. Here's my second question. I was in Monrovia when the Jalatan Road was being constructed and the SKD Boulevard bypass was being constructed. You can see, those roads had to be redone because they were poorly done. My second question is, if this road is constructed and these losses are not addressed, and let's assume in the future, because now, if those things are not done, does it shorten the lifespan of the road? I know the answer is yes.
I'm not going to talk about the lifespan because I don't know the design lifespan these people are providing. Let's just say, what if it was lifespan of 20 years? Because most roadway design, you do TI of 20. Most of the roads TI 20. Okay, so if you do TI 20 and you construct it poorly, depends on the material that is being used. The construction of the road has different layers. You have the base, you have sub-base, then you have the asphalt. Okay, if you put in the base and the sub-base correctly, compacting, 95% practor, if you do all of that, and you put a crummy asphalt on it, it's going to fail. If you do the base and you do it badly, and you put good asphalt on it, it's going to fail. Now, in the area that you live, many of you that are living in the United States, they got some areas that are bad. For example, if you get to some place where they have stop sign, you will find as you're getting closer to the stop sign, the asphalt seems like it has a hump. I know many of you have seen that. And you will find maintenance will come and try to chop those humps down and try to even it up. The reason is this. Before you put the asphalt down, they have what they call binder. You put a binder down, it's a liquid. You put it down. But that binder bind the asphalt with the base you have. So the asphalt don't slide. But if the binder is not done properly, the asphalt going to slide. So when you have people coming in and when you stop into the stop sign, it's a force. Your car is moving at a certain speed and you're trying for it to stop. So it's a force. And the force is the friction. It's now you're telling the friction everything to stop. So when the slides start coming, the asphalt goes along with it. You might not see, your naked eye might not see it, but over time you will see that hump on there. And these are the kind of things that
now, let me just ask my last question before people come on. I know in Liberia, sometimes when these road contracts are given out, let's assume I'm not an engineer, but I'm just being hypothetical here. Let's assume on average, the width of, the thickness of the road should be 6 inches, hypothetically speaking, right? And sometimes the government will come in and say, well, we don't have enough money. Let's make it 4 inches. I don't know whether the government have listed some of these engineers that are overseeing this project to make sure they understand what's going on, or there is supervision from the Ministry of Public Works to make sure there is proper supervision. Are you aware of that? Whether they got proper supervision on this kind of road? And that's my final question. Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I'm not aware of it. And that's one of the reasons why we've been trying to get in contact with the authority to help us out to understand these things, and nobody will avail themselves to us. So we were not able to ascertain the proper supervision, who's responsible, and what have you. So no, I am not aware of it. But thank you very much for your question.
Wait.
Okay. Folks, Samson told Labron Pabrito, I got about 2 more minutes, and then I will be calling on the great Amon George to close the thing for us tonight. So please give me a call. Samson told Labron Pabrito. Mr. Amon George, if you're there, please give us a call and close this thing for us. We gotta get out of here, Okay, before I leave you guys tonight, folks, the young man, the mayor of Brooklyn Center in Minnesota, he's been getting a real positive review of his response to this riot that happening in Brooklyn Center in Minnesota. He is a Liberian background, but he's making all of us proud. I've been getting, when I was on air here, people were calling me, other people from Congo, Nigeria, Cameroon, Sierra Leone was calling me how proud we should be as Liberians to have a young man like that to be able to showcase himself effectively and as an intellectual as he is. And people are very proud. And I also want to express my thanks and appreciation to the young man. And we'll all continue to pray for you. And we know that you will continue to do good things for that city. I know it's a tough time, but the way you carry yourself is something that those of us that are old enough to be your father are very proud. And even your own brothers and sisters that are there with you, they're very proud of you. And I want to thank you very much. These are something you don't go in a store to buy. It's called character. You don't buy character. And these are Liberian culture. I don't mind saying that. These character that you young people continue to display, doesn't matter where, these are Liberian culture. And I want to really, really take my hat off to you and say thank you very much. Folks, let me just wait for Mr. Amos George. I'm not too sure if he's here tonight. If not, it's time to leave. We will say good night to all of you. And I will say thank you very much. Samson told Labron Public Radio before I leave. Let's do this here. To all of you out there, whatever time it is.
Today na your birthday, na the day where you come to join the people wey been don stay.
Mr. George, thank you. Thank you for calling. I know it's late. Never. Thank you very much for calling. Go ahead, close the show for us, please.
Well, I think you said everything. Some of us are not engineers, but from the surface, you want to ask some questions, and you have been doing everything to answer these questions. This company, we raised the issue when it started. This company doesn't have any history of doing a construction in any part of Africa. Before I say West Africa, no history. Why would it take a multi-million-dollar contract and give it to this company? Why? This company based on shady work in Banga. They drove them from Banga. Can you imagine? Banga. They drove them. They said the put down road somewhere. Can you say that again? The same problem. All the local media have reported about this company. So the question is, why government will take this kind of lucrative contract and give it to this company? You ask question, what are they bidding done? They can't show you. But yeah, but they say the people are capable of doing the work. Now, yes, the rainy season, we know in Liberia. It started already April 15. That's the official season. That's the official starting of the rainy season in Liberia. How would people do that kind of work 6 months in rain? Yeah. How would they do that kind of work? If you want to do real serious work for people, how does solve on the whole when that kind of water pouring in Nigeria? These are questions and something will ask. And I posted, I was asking something. Where is the engineering society or Liberian? Have they come out to say anything about this project? Because at the end of the day, it's the Liberian people that's going to pay for it. We are not seeing any guarantee that, hey, we're building the road. Based on the money you're spending, we'll maintain the road for the next 10 years before we can turn it over to the government. There's nothing like that in the contract. I don't think it's in the contract. When they finish putting our quota water on our road, they're done. 6 months, pump will come up. Quota start melting. It's a Liberian project that will start patching our road. Some of us are not against development. But if you're going to spend money for something, it should be durable. So the people, when they're paying for it, they cannot regret. This is why some of us come out to say some of these things. But let me be very personal today. That's why somebody posted a Grace Robert. He been asking all kinds of questions. Why you don't send consult, you can't go to the company? Mr. Robert, or whoever you are, people don't just get up and do consultancy job for company, even if you're a citizen of a country. That's not how it works. If the government wants this person, they can contact the person and say, hey, we need your expertise. come and do this for us. That's how it works. If the company have their own consultancy, they will pay that person. So, but if a son of Liberia is he's giving his expertise in the area, don't question that about his expertise, why he can't give it. He has said it over and over. He's not having his credential. So if the government needs, the government can approach him and say, can you help us? We don't have money to pay you, but as a son of the soul, can you give us the assistance? I'm sure Mr. Toh will be willing to do it. He has gone there, he has taught the university, courses in the place. They didn't pay him. So if someone reached out to him, he was sure to do it. But the reason that you don't see it, because you don't see the corrupt attitude in your people. Because anybody that wants to volunteer go, they will want money from that person. That's why he's going to help. And you don't see those things. You know how many people have given proposal to government and government now reach back to them? But you question because someone is saying something and you think you support the government. So therefore nobody can say anything positive or criticize the government constructively. You'll have a problem with it. Then you say the people are not constructive. But the man is laying on something to everybody, those who have the knowledge of engineering, explaining the depth of the work. But you have the nerve to come and start questioning them why the person cannot do this. So why you can't tell your government, hey, reach out to this person? Everything is that you take it personal. That anything that the government is doing, when someone questions it, then you say the person don't like the government, which is absolutely wrong. Because at the end of the day, the Nigerian people are going to pay that money, like it or not. We're going to pay that money. The company will be gone. Nigerian will live with the debt. So if a Nigerian who has an expertise in the area explaining something, you have a question, you can reach out to him and say, hey, this is not how this is how it is. But yes, what we can do. And let him say, no, I can't help in that direction, except you pay me. This is just wrong. The rule they're doing there, see, all the fraud the man is pointing out. You're not questioning the company. You're not asking your government to say, hey, somebody's seeing this thing. Are you people checking these people? No, nobody doing it. Nobody. Well, nothing else here. Oh, the people don't like the government. 19, nobody has done that since. Oh, what is this? 18 for the serving. Okay. We agree. First, nobody has done the 18 for the serving. So if you're doing it now, so people cannot.
Mr. George, are you with us?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Can
you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Since road was not built in 1847, it doesn't mean when someone is doing that people cannot question the durability of the rule or the company that doing that people cannot question it. It's wrong. Because at the end of the day, we will have to pay for that rule. But I just want to leave it on the note, Mr. Toh, and I want to say thank you very much for what you have demonstrated tonight. And I hope more will come because all the equipment you use, you're displacing. You're displacing in Liberia. And they will tell you, oh, that Liberia, or that Africa. So it means that because since it's Liberia or Africa, people can do any kind of work there and let it just fly because of Liberia or Africa. No. It's not, you're not doing it free. And millions of dollars they're giving those people. And so if they're doing something and the right equipment is not used, people might question them. Don't say that Liberia. They can't do it in other countries, but Liberia is where everything bad will be accepted. It's just a bad idea that we have developed. That contract, the bottom line is, all the ministers that are connected to public works and other places, they are going to get a benefit because that's the only reason they will get a lucrative contract to a company that has no history in West Africa and Africa to do that kind of major construction. And nobody is there to even ask to say how these people got the contract, how they arrived at the point from 7 billion material to now construction, how they got there. Nobody wants to ask. But I always say this thing here. We will have to continue to talk. They may not want to hear it, but we will talk. So tomorrow, society can now hold and say, what are you people when they were doing this? Did you say anything? So we have to say it. Today is April 12th. What got us here? There was some of the same attitude by a certain group of people that brought us to this point. So we have to be very careful how we do things in Liberia. Yes, I get it. People support the government. Yes, people love the government. Yes, the government is strong. Yes, but at the same time, we should not take our eye off the ball. Let it do the right thing. So, Mr. Toll, I just want to say thank you tonight for the presentation. And those who have any questions, they can reach out to you. Maybe you see something that is not true. So they can say, oh, Mr. Toll, you said it. This is not true. I know you are open to criticism, so they can come. But they can just be coming, trying to talk. You say, oh, you can't go there. Why are you doing the white thing? No. Ask him what he's saying if it's lie. Or prove your point. So I just want to say thank you and keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. George. Thank you very much. Okay, folks, Samson to Labron Pub Radio. That will be the conclusion of our show tonight. I want to thank all of you that took your time to come on this show and make your comment. Like I said, it's not like you don't have anything to do, but the fact that you show respect and the fact that you enjoy our conversation is one of the reasons why you're here with us. Whether you criticize me or not, it really doesn't matter. The mere fact that you're here and allowing us to express our view. We also must allow you to express your view freely. And I want to thank all of you for doing that tonight. This is how conversation goes. Respect each other, and then we will get somewhere. Folks, again, thanks to the city mayor, Brooklyn Center in Minnesota, who is connected from Perry, I believe, from Liberia. The young men have made all of us proud again, we Liberians, and I want to say thank you very much. Keep up the good work, and let's continue to pray for one another. What we're doing here, let me just say this again. It's not to criticize because we want to. Every criticism or whatever you want to call it, that all my suggestions here tonight, all of the comments that I have made here tonight, I show you the fix. You don't even have to come to me. All you need to do is go on Google and do Google search, and you will get all of those information. There's nothing that you in this day of age, everything is out there, you can say. And one of the interesting things about us Liberians, we have the abilities now to tell our own stories. We do not depend on people from BBC to come and talk and tell our stories anymore. And every one of us, from the different counties or different sections, we have the ability now to tell our own story. And so once again, I'm just here, even though I'm an engineer, but I don't claim knowledge way above the engineering practices that I have done. I don't claim knowledge about that. Everything that I say here or come out to say, something that I have done, that I have experienced in. And I'm not saying that you can't say I'm wrong, but what I'm not about to do is to take a back seat, to be timid, to be afraid, to speak my engineering mind. It ain't happening. It's not going to be with this something to the liberal progressive. Ain't happening. Why? Because I think I put too much time into this for me to take a back seat. Now, if this was something I have to do with accounting, when Samuel Twain start throwing the words around, I would be a little bit concerned because I have no knowledge. So I'm not going to fool myself. I might be a little bit intelligent, but I'm not going to fool myself to claim knowledge in those areas. But in this particular situation, don't try. Samson told, good night to all of you. Let's pray for one another. Please stay safe out there, especially the young people. If the vaccine is in your area, please take it. I'm scheduled to take my second one here very shortly. Please do so, because the more people take this vaccine, the more things will become easier, because they're going to open up. School going to be fully functional, where your students from home will go to school, and you don't have to worry about, oh, who's going to stay home, wife stay home, father stay home, none of that kinds of stuff. So, and the kids themselves, they've been through a lot. They've been through. I have my daughter here. She's bouncing off the wall. Because, I mean, granted, I mean, you have all your friends, and all of a sudden, you can't talk to anybody except on the phone. You can't see each other except on Zoom. These things, emotionally, they take the tolls on these kids. But we have to do what we can to make sure the vaccine sits in. We take it. So whatever they call it, whatever word they use, herd immunity or whatever they call it, so that we all can get it. But in the meantime, though, let's pray for one another. And let's be thankful to God. With that, Samson Toll. Good night, folks.